When Travis Kelce accidentally revealed that Taylor Swift would be appearing on a podcast on Tuesday, April 29th, Jason Kelce's reaction was one of shock. The Kelce brothers have just released a new episode of their podcast, which is called New Heights. The famous tight end Travis Kelce was seen wearing a shirt with a plaid pattern in black and white, which was a throwback that highlighted his laid-back style. A black baseball cap with the words Tebeka embroidered on it was placed on his head as a highlight to bring to mind New York, the city in which Taylor Swift resided for a significant amount of time. In the first episode of the podcast, Jason Kelce made an appearance wearing a dark red t-shirt and his signature New Heights hat. This was a stark contrast to the upbeat and positive atmosphere that Travis had created. After introducing themselves, the Kelce brothers began their discussion by discussing the victory that Travis Kelce and Justin Timberlake achieved in a golf tournament that took place in Las Vegas. Please allow me to welcome you to New Heights, the place where the Kelce brothers talk, argue, and occasionally reveal secrets that they ought not to be told. Jason started off with a tone that was only half joking. "That's for me," Travis declared in response, laughing. "We're back from that crazy tournament in Vegas," Jason said with a big smile on his face. "Hey Travis, you had a great swing." Travis laughed and said, "Everything I was doing was trying to learn from Timberlake. Because of Timberlake, I gained a lot of knowledge about golf." The statement that Jason made was, "Oh, but the fact that your team won the championship was really impressive. I was able to observe a number of golfers who were quite senior and had a lot of experience. You are aware that I am not capable of swinging that well." Travis responded by saying, "Oh really? If you really beat us, the championship would be yours." The Kelce brothers then laughed heartily, and then Jason asked Travis, "Hey dude, after the night of celebrating the golf championship, you disappeared from the Wynn Hotel." Travis responded by saying, "I don't know what happened." A scratch appeared on Travis's head. "Actually, I went to pay a visit to a very special person." It was as if Jason had just caught a whiff of a bombshell, as his eyes lit up with excitement as he looked up immediately. "Is it the one that stands out? Are you referring to the well-known blonde Grammy winner who belongs to a cat named Olivia?" Travis laughed out loud, but he made an effort to maintain his composure. "Please, Jason, don't let it go." Jason wouldn't let it go. "Hello, I just wanted to inquire about whether or not she was staying with you for a few days. Another person's story was posted by you. I have seen those shoes before. They are black and white." It appeared as though Travis was looking at someone for a brief moment as he turned away from the frame. The audience picked up on a faint sound, which was a female voice that reverberated in the background. Travis immediately covered his mouth and showed his eyes widening, despite the fact that it was unclear. "Oh, I must have been mistaken. Not to worry, I was aware of it." Although his eyes were widening, Jason leaned toward the screen. "Doesn't that belong to Taylor? You must not tell me that she is in your studio." 2 seconds passed, during which Travis remained silent, and then he let out a sigh and laughed. "You are such a cunning coward." A loud slam of Jason's hand was heard on the table. "I was aware of it. I knew you will make a mistake, you guys." Eventually, when the laughter subsided, Travis continued to share more. "To tell you the truth, Taylor was able to take a few days off from her planned activities. Because she was aware that you were going to be in Las Vegas with me and everyone else, she arrived without prior notice. All that she desired was for us to have a peaceful evening together with no cameras and no fans. A pizza, some wine, and some music were enjoyed while we sat on the terrace that was located on the 58th floor and looked out over Las Vegas. The solution was that easy." Jason wore a grin. "Having said that, I am extremely delighted to learn that. To be honest, I've never seen you so calm before, but in any case, would you be able to elaborate on how wonderful this is?" Travis responded with, "Oh sure, man." Travis started telling me, "I have to say, after swinging some of the worst shots of my life, I knew you were looking for a place to recover." He was in a very happy mood when he started giving me this information. I was there with Taylor at the time. We went to Las Vegas for a few days where we did nothing but eat well, get plenty of rest, and hide from the crazy sun. Jason immediately looked up, propped his chin on his hand, and pretended to be very tired of this romance, which caused Travis and the rest of the backstage crew to laugh out loud. "Oh, I'm so sorry, Travis. I was under the impression that I was listening to a podcast about sports, not a podcast about romance." Jason made a joke, his voice dragged out in an attempt to tease his brother, but Travis, who was unfazed by the situation, simply laughed out loud and continued, "It is actually thanks to Taylor that we didn't lose that day, Jason." I put in a lot of effort during my practice, but nothing beats having her there to encourage and support me." Jason asked in a serious tone, "Wait, you mean Taylor Swift stood there in the heat of 100 degrees just to watch you play golf like some amateur grandpa?" Jason raised his eyebrows and asked the question. There was a grin on Travis's face as he nodded. "Indeed, and I believe that I have won. Not the prize, but the life itself." Suddenly, everyone in the studio burst out laughing. Jason pretended to lean back in his chair and heaved a helpless sigh at Travis's sweetness. He then added in a sarcastic manner, "I don't know whether to be proud or feel like you're so lucky, Travis. You are, without a doubt, blessed." Travis did not stop there. He continued by adding more adorable details about their short summer vacation. "We went for a stroll down the strip, had dinner at a charming little Italian restaurant that Taylor had chosen, and then we just went about our normal lives. There was no stage, no spotlight, just the two of us walking around and laughing at silly things." At this point, Jason smiled softly and did not make any jokes. "In all honesty, I am delighted for you, There is no one else who, in my opinion, deserves that piece more than you do." The sincerity of the statement caused the atmosphere on the show to become quiet for a brief period of time. However, the two brothers quickly returned to their usual joking style, discussing Travis's distinctive swings in the league. This podcast episode not only made fans laugh, but it also revealed a very ordinary and lovable side of Travis Kelce, an NFL superstar who is enjoying simple happiness with the person he wants to spend the rest of his life with. The Kansas City Chiefs are going into the 2025-26 National Football League season with a lot to prove, after suffering a humiliating defeat in Super Bowl 2025 against the Philadelphia Eagles by a score of 40-22. This defeat came after the Chiefs missed the opportunity to win a historic third consecutive championship. Andy Reid, the head coach of the Chiefs, and the front office did not waste any time in reshaping the roster. It is interesting to note that a significant portion of their draft strategy suggests a subtle but undeniable shift in how they view Patrick Mahomes' role moving forward. Additionally, the legendary Travis Kelce has confirmed that he will be returning for at least one more season. It would appear that the Chiefs are making preparations for a future that extends beyond their legendary tight end. However, what truly stands out is the manner in which Kansas City approached the 2025 NFL Draft. They placed a strong emphasis on offensive line reinforcements, which is a move that suggests that they are becoming increasingly concerned about Mahomes' vulnerability when under pressure, rather than simply trusting him to perform his magic. With their first-round pick, the Chiefs are able to acquire key players through the draft as well as through undrafted free agency. Josh Simmons, an offensive tackle, was selected by the Chiefs, a move that was immediately intended to improve the protection that Mahomes receives in the pocket. After that, they added wide receivers Jalen Royals and Broward Smith, who brought speed and versatility to an offense that struggled to find consistency beyond Kelce during the previous season. However, the most aggressive moves that Kansas City made came after the draft was over. In order to demonstrate their commitment to incorporating young talent into their roster, the Chiefs signed 13 free agents who will not be drafted. An offensive lineman named Dalton Cooper was one of the notable players that the Chiefs signed. He received a significant deal worth $259,000, which included a signing bonus of $25.00. This is a clear indication of how urgently the Chiefs want to retool their protection schemes and depth across the field. Powerful message is conveyed by the sheer number of offensive reinforcements that are brought in through the draft and free agency. The Kansas City Chiefs are no longer willing to rely solely on Mahomes' brilliance after experiencing a season in which he scored 26 touchdowns, which was satisfactory, but not spectacular. In the Super Bowl, Mahomes was exposed by the Eagles' fierce defense, which demonstrated that even the most dynamic quarterback in the league requires a more robust support system in order to thrive. Travis Kelce and Justin Timberlake were already making some noise together a couple of years ago, and it wasn't just at concerts or games, they were also performing together. It was a whole vibe when they joined forces at the very first golf invitational that took place in Las Vegas at 8 in the morning. Kelce, along with Patrick Mahomes, ended up winning the competition, narrowly defeating Chase Crawford and Catherine Newton by a single stroke. Not only did they win the golf competition, but they also won the poker night, which resulted in the collection of more than $600,000, 0 cents, for charitable causes. No big deal, it was just a casual weekend with a superstar, and to tell you the truth, their chemistry was absolutely hilarious. At a certain point in time during the competition, Kelce became so enthralled that he attempted to give Timberlake a side bump and ended up destroying him almost completely. Later on The Tonight Show, JT made a joke about how Kelce's friendly hit caused him to wake up with a stiff neck for an entire week. Still no resentment or hostility. Timberlake couldn't stop gushing about how Kelce is the most genuinely kind and considerate person in the world. Let's fast forward to the present day, where the two of them are still engaging in their friendly banter. Specifically, Travis Kelce and his brother Jason Kelce joined JT in their endeavors. JT's annual invitational celebrity golf tournament takes place at the Wynn Golf at 8:00 a.m. and it features notable guests such as Olympian Michael Phelps, NBA star Blake Griffin, and comedian Andrew Santino.